we've got that on this model here.
As you can see on the car, and where we had all the fancy engine maps to produce downforce to the diffuser, that's gone. So they've gone to a more conventional exhaust exits are around the top area, as they have been in recent years in Formula 1.
And just looking at your cockpit here, I mean, to most of us, this is such a small environment. I mean, how comfortable do you feel sitting in that cockpit?
I feel quite comfortable. It's very much so. You know, you've got to be comfortable. But the big thing about the cockpit, it's designed in such a way that I have to get out of the car and put the steering wheel and everything back on in 10 seconds. I'm actually just looking to see what chassis this is, because that is actually my race car from this year. That is the actual
fantastic.
There was 4 cars made, and I just wanted to see.
I'm surprised you didn't recognise it straight away.
Well, you can't. There's no difference. You know, the cars are all the same. There's 4 of them built, but I used chassis 2, and that's the one sitting there.
And just looking at the car, we can see some of the DRS components on the back rear wing here. Tell us a little bit about how you felt about driving with the DRS last season. Was it something that you were in favour of?
I think looking back at it now, definitely. I think the introduction Pirelli, Kerr's, DRS all influenced the racing. We had some great racing. You couldn't predict it. We were a bit apprehensive of the safety of how that was going to work initially, but I must say, when you get the routine of it, it worked. And the thing about the DRS, it would always fail down. It could never fail up with a loss of downforce. It was only a need to give you the opportunity to have more speed than the car in front of you.
And so there was never situations where you'd find yourself too frustrated, sat behind someone for too long? Were you able to sort of try and at least have an attempt to get past someone?
No, equally you found yourself stuck behind people, and generally what was created by that was, when you have the DRS, you were getting about 15 kilometres an hour in qualifying on top of what you would be if you didn't use the DRS. Now there was a compromise there to how long you wanted to be in the rev limiter in 7th gear, to how much un-DRS'd in the race you wanted to have the RPM and a good range for maximum power. So you found yourself people sitting in the limit where you couldn't actually make benefit of it. But it wasn't, the DRS was put in to help overtaking, not make it happen. They still want to see the driver's skill and trying to outbrake somebody, trying to set them up the corner before to get close, and equally not make it that you can just breeze by somebody on the straight, because that would take the actual technical aspect out.
Yeah, presumably that wouldn't give you as much satisfaction as diving into a corner being late on the brakes.
Exactly.
Okay, so looking ahead to this forthcoming season, what would be a good season for you in terms of what you could achieve in this season? Is it more regular point scoring positions? Is that what you're looking for? To move up the constructors' standings with the team?
You've always got to look up, and you have to be prepared, but being completely realistic about it, we would certainly be hoping to challenge the likes of Lotus, the Lotus, Renault, maybe Mercedes, but that side, up the front are all huge manufacturers, and it's very difficult to get the resource that they've got. We're a relatively small team with not the biggest amount of resource behind us, but we have a good stable relationship with Mercedes for the engines and cars. We use the McLaren gearbox and hydraulics, which gives us a bit of stability that's going to be a reliable source, and equally the parts are going to be reliable, and that was a key to last year. I actually completed the most race laps of any driver out there.
Yeah.